ladies and gentlemen, this is Great White over here. Come on now. Yeah. Show some love. Oh, keep it rocking out all day. They got no excuse. But when you think of bluesy, soulful rock and roll, this is the band you think of. Especially by that man's voice. Did you hear him out there? Good God. So guys, Great White, they're going to be talking your questions. If you can just introduce everybody and take it from there, guys.
Hi, Jack Russell, lead vocals, lead cane.
Mike Lardy, keys and guitar and other things.
Mark Kendall, guitar. Audie does road drums.
Scotty Snyder, the bass.
He's a slap in the bass.
Guys, any questions? Get us rolling.
You probably want to know about this, I imagine, right? I'll just let you know it. Okay, just to get this out of the way. About a year and a half ago, I had an injury. I fell off a ladder remodeling my house, and I broke my back in a bunch of places. Subsequently, I've had like 2 surgeries. Fell on stage on my birthday of all nights because of one of the back surgeries went bad. Shattered my femur, had to put a rod in that. So basically after becoming the Bionic Man, here I am again. So we're just rocking and rolling. I was supposed to be home on bed rest, but the tour came up and I'd rather be here than there, so the rest is history.
Give it up for you.
Thank you. I'm lucky to do what I do, and I appreciate it. And I figure we got maybe this much time left in the scheme of things, so I want to take as much time to enjoy myself as I can, you know. So. Anyway, anything more now? We can talk about music.
Tell us about Rising.
Rising. Wow. There's a lot to tell. That record, for me, I'll let some of the other guys, throw in their 2 cents as well, for a change. It is the most realized record, I think, from start in our heads, speaking for myself, that we've ever done. I mean, to me, I can listen to that record and go, yes, that's just the way I heard it in my head. And not every record comes out that way, and it's a frustration, sometimes when you have a song that you work on and let's say you have an integral part in writing it, and then it turns out to be like, wow, this is somebody else's vision now. This is my ex-manager's vision of what I interpreted in my head, and it's really, really frustrating. This record, to me, is so well realized that it's frightening. It's like, wow, that came out really just that. There was not one thing I would change, and I can't say that about maybe 1 or 2 records that we've done that are that close. So that's what I'm going to say about it.
Yeah, for me, it was probably a realization of wanting to always go into the studio not completely prepared. A lot of times you write that 12 or 13 songs and you think, okay, I'm going to reproduce these for 2 weeks and we're going to over-rehearse and over-rehearse. And you go in the studio to try and cut it. You kind of kick a little bit of the life out of something. We went in with like 3 or 4 songs completely written and kind of wrote everything on the fly, which was something I always wanted to try. It's a little more work trying to be traffic cop with figuring when the ideas would come in from Mark and stuff, and we'd be cutting basics and they'd be over at Jack's house working on lyrics, and it just was like this continuous 35-40 day thing of like, it really was a band thing. Everybody was there every day for the entire time, and that's, well, it was, to be fair, it was his house. But that was one of the best things as far as it really felt like a band recording more than any time before for me.
Well, you actually came to my house. I don't think you went to my house.
Yeah, I'll reiterate on that. When we first decided to get the original guys back together, was Jack and I were out doing the, well, it ended up to be called Fake White. But because we had, hired people, but we were talking about, we don't want to become like an oldies band just out there, let's go play Once Bitten Twice Shy again this year, We wanted to make new music, but we didn't want to do it with other, people we didn't know that well. We wanted to call the core Great White, all the other guys. And just getting together, that was fun in itself. Just hanging out, going, hey man, what have you been doing? This is like amazing, And they even took a picture when we were at the party, and they were using that for like, our press photo. We're going, are you serious? My stomach looked like it was really bad, but it was just the shirt, So No, but anyways, so when we went in to make the record on that record, it was similar to Rising, but not as extreme. Like the bass player didn't even know the songs at all, and it was a different bass player. It was when we had Sean McNabb, and so that's when I kind of realized, wow, maybe we have over-rehearsed a little bit in the past, Like you play a song over and over and over, okay, it's totally down, now let's go record for like a year, This is more, a lot of ideas when you first get them and then you put them on the tape right then. There's a certain energy that's not like, it's an energy that's not like you're hard hitting or, it's just a feel thing that happens in an early part of an idea, And sometimes if you overplay it, it becomes, it becomes contrived and well, here's an example. Years ago on our first album, we did a demo of a song called Street Killer. And it was a pretty fresh idea. It was a brand new song. And then we got the big producer from Germany and everything, and we went in and recorded it for real and did the really bad version of it and put that out, you know what I mean? But they were playing the demo on the radio, and I go, wow, well, when we had that riff, it was like we just pretty much went in and recorded it, But Rising was, like Michael, I don't want to just repeat everything he said, but it was a deal where a lot more band input, where it wasn't like Jack, Michael, and I came into the band and told them, okay, here's the songs, boys, learn them and let's roll tape. They got involved, and it just made it fun, because it was such a group effort, and of course, you keep making records because you always want to get better, and you just try to. And that's what keeps me going. Is I want to write, the ultimate song and the ultimate record or whatever, And we could always get better, but it's a good record. I'm happy with it for the most part. Thank you. Well, he said it all. Yeah. Well, for me, like I said, these guys, they pretty much said everything that I was going to say, but it was cool having the album recorded in my house, because I used to be in bed and all of a sudden I hear Michael making some noise. Oh, I guess it's time to go record. So I get out of bed, my boxers, start jamming. It wasn't like that. But, one thing that was really special is I came up with this little riff on guitar, and I'm a drummer, you know how that is. Hey guys, I got a whole new set of songs to learn, But and I had Scotty, transpose it for me, and Michael came up with some parts for it, and actually have a song credit on the record with my name first, so it's kind of cool for a drummer. But and Michael's very knowledgeable about the Pro Tools studio, and I own not a lot of gear, but a substantial amount of gear, and he's slowly but surely learning how to use it. But it's been a real experience. It's been a lot of fun, and this album is one of my favorites so far.
More to follow.
All right, just real quick, mine will be short. Just being the new guy, just want to say I had a great time doing this album with these guys, and they're like my family now, and I just want to say I love them like crazy. And I got a whole new set of friends. Who's that guy in the end? You want someone to throw something at him? No, really, seriously, these guys are the best people. Also, not just great music, but as people, they're really, really good people. To have as friends, and I'm having a great time. So I think they're having fun watching me too. Every once in a while, having some fun. So I've heard out some interviews, which is really cool. But I'll let them speak the rest of it. I'm having a great time though. Thanks, guys.
Okay, you got it ready.
Any other questions, guys? Questions for Great White? All right, we got one there.
How do you guys feel when you look out in the audience and you see generations of fans now? You guys have been in the industry for a little while. You look out and see kids, parents, grandparents, they're bringing their kids to these shows. How does it make you feel?
It's funny, I talk about this almost every day. At some point or another, somebody will bring something up that'll remind me of that. It's amazing. I was talking about this today to somebody. I was saying, what's the weirdest thing is I never pictured, because people 20 years ago, what do you think you'd be doing 20 years from now? I'm like, I don't know, I'll be like I'm alive, And consequently I am. But I never thought about that really in a serious manner. But now it's like you look out there and you see 4 generations. You see an 8-year-old kid wearing a great white shirt hanging down to his ankles, you know, singing lyrics to songs I barely know. That's how old they are. And I'm asking this guy, I'm going like, how old are you? 8. And so your mom's. So basically, your parents weren't even a thought, a gleam in your dad's eye when I was singing my first record. And I go, God damn it, I'm old. You know? And I'm thinking, I'm 49 years old. How fortunate am I to be able to do what I'm doing? You know? And it's tougher than it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. But I'll tell you, if you think about it, or if I sit and think about it, as much as I bitch sometimes and can be the prima donna lead vocalist, typical, you know, I really have little to bitch about. My life has been a freaking dream, you know, and it's because of these 8-year-olds and the 13-year-old and their parents and their grandparents and you know, guys like these here that'll put up me on a day-to-day basis, you know, and we make and God and whoever else you want to throw in there that you know helps with the creativity. But it's a really cool feeling, man. Especially when you come and do festivals, that's when you really notice it. You're not going to notice it at a 21 or over show. You know, unfortunately right now we're doing mostly these type of gigs, which is great. So I feel just very blessed and lucky, and then, you know, I just want to win one for the team.
Go team! Now, are you guys going to be doing any headlining gigs after the summer festivals are over?
Well, we mostly do. This is we don't do too many shows where we're not headlining. I mean, we're trying not to. We're actually trying, you know, we do mostly casinos and festivals like this. We do a couple of clubs to kind of fill in sometimes if we need to. But we're trying to get ourselves out of that, which we've been doing the last few years. I mean, fortunately for us, the last 3, 4, 5 years since the band got back together, you know, as close to the originals as they'll ever get, ever want to see it. I mean, to me, this is the incarnation of Great White, which is the best, and it will never be anything else in this. But we've been doing most of those kind of shows, and you know, we're doing better every year. We're getting more attendance is raised every year. You know, the money's going up, and whether or not that's to do with just a sign of the times as far as the 80s music becoming back into vogue, where people of our generation are going like, hey, that was actually pretty fun. You know, my kids are growing up. I don't got to worry about them. Let's go out and relive some of our, you know, the old times. You know, and as long as we're making new music, like Mark was saying, that's the cool thing. I don't want to sit and rest on our laurels and be like, oh well, you know, this is a song I wrote, you know, 20 years ago. You know, I want to write new stuff. Or what's the point? You know, I get bored like everybody else. I don't care how good a hamburger is. I want to have some greasy, sloppy cheeseburger once in a while. You know.
Yeah, that is one of the things I noticed about some of the bands that are playing now. They're not writing music.
Right.
They're just touring around.
Yeah. See, I could not do that.